This is Jordan Bergen, a 16-year-old Sunday League striker with a dream: win the Ballon d'Or. The problem is, the English football pyramid has 20 levels, and Jordan plays at the very bottom for Fitton Hill All-Stars. He's also not very good. He may be tall and have 14 finishing, but his current ability is just 1 out of 200. So he's hired me as his agent to help him achieve his dreams. Every season, I can move him to new clubs and boost his attributes when he hits goal-scoring milestones. So if he wants to win the Ballon d'Or anytime soon, he better start scoring goals. Unfortunately though, Jordan doesn't have a great first season overall. He features in 13 of the 20 matches, but can only score 3 goals and get 1 assist. Fitton Hill All-Stars finish 8th in the table with a -22 goal difference, and you have to say, Jordan did not score enough goals this season, and that's why they have the worst goal difference in the league. But because of the goals that he scored, he has made improvements. I can't actually tell you where the improvements are because he still looks pretty bad. But if we have a look at his current ability, that has now risen to 5. So clearly he has made some progress. Frustratingly though, he hasn't hit any of his targets yet, so we can't upgrade him for goals in a season or career milestones. But as his agent, I can tell him to move clubs, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Whaley Bridge Athletic just came 3rd in the Cheshire Football League Premier Division, which is at the 11th tier of English football. I know you must be thinking I am mad for making him move up 9 divisions after just scoring 3 goals at level 20. But if we look at their team right now, their best striker's got 16 current ability, their second striker has just 6 current ability, so I think actually he's got a really good chance of breaking into this first team and starting to play some football. Plus, this guy here is also wanted by 154 clubs, so there's a good chance he's going to move on. So it may be a big step up for him, but I reckon it's going to improve his game. The move has turned out to be an excellent decision, as Jordan scored 13 goals in 19 matches, meaning he smashed through 2 different milestones. The club actually moved sideways into the Liverpool Premier League Premier Division and finished in 5th place, which is pretty respectable. And Jordan also finished as the league's joint top scorer. So again, we are seeing a few small increases across all of his attributes across the board really. I think heading's gone up from 5 to 6 there. I think some of his mentals have also increased. And if we look at his current ability, he has risen to a 13 current ability. So the move has been fantastic for him. And his 13 goals this season mean he's hit 5 goals and 10 goals in a season, which means we can give him plus 20 attributes. So using the in-game editor, I think what we have to do to start off with is give him plus 5 to his determination, because that's really important in getting players to improve. But also, we need to massively improve his physicals, especially at a non-league level. He has to be fast, and that'll score him plenty of goals. So if we give him plus 10 onto his pace, make that 15, and give him plus 5 on his acceleration to make that 12, that should be quite a big increase. If we look at his current ability now, he's gone from 13 to 37 as his recommended current ability. That's huge for this level, and it means we should probably move him on. Now, he's currently wanted by 26 clubs, but that was before we upgraded his current ability, so all of these clubs here I don't think are going to be good enough now. Luckily, I have an idea. If we move up a level to level 10, Daisy Hill are currently 6th in the North West Counties League Division 1 North. They're in a playoff spot. He'd also come in as the 2nd best player in the team and the best striker, so I think this is a perfect move for him. Let's just hope he has a breakthrough season next time out, scores 40 goals, and we can give him a huge upgrade. So, Jordan started the season for Daisy Hill and was in fine form. He scored 13 goals in 25 games in all competitions, as well as picking up 7 assists. This was the best football he'd been playing, and because of that, he didn't finish the season at Daisy Hill. Because at this low level, you're not on proper contracts, players can move to other clubs at any point in the season. So in February, Kidsgrove signed him on a free, and they don't play in the 10th division. They play in the Northern Premier League Division 1 West, which is the 8th tier of English football, and they just finished in 13th place. First of all, I am very upset he has moved clubs without consulting me, his agent, first. In 11 league games for Kidsgrove, he's managed to score 3 goals, which is not enough. So really, I think he should have stayed put at Daisy Hill and scored plenty more goals. The good news is though, that 13 plus 3 means he's got 16 in all competitions, so we can give him plus 10 attributes. He is quite tall at 189 centimeters, so what we need to do is upgrade his jumping reach and heading, make him a more lethal threat from set pieces and corners and hopefully score more goals. So start editing him. We're going to give him plus 3 to his jumping reach, so up to 13, and plus 5 on his heading to 12. That has changed his current ability up to 50, so he was at 44 actually through some improvements in that season, up to 50 now, not bad. It makes him one of the better players at Kidsgrove, the second best striker behind this Alex Hernandez, but if we look at the tactics, as most teams at this level, they are playing 4-4-2. Although I'm not a fan of the move, we're going to leave him there for next season. It was a good job that we kept Jordan at Kidsgrove, because he smashed through a new milestone as he scored 22 goals in all competitions this season. This takes him to a career 54 goals as Kidsgrove win the title and get promoted. The issue is, Jordan wasn't at the club when they got promoted. He took a very late move in the season in mid-April to join Matlock Town. Matlock play in the Vanarama National League North, so it's a big nice step up for him and he is playing at a very decent level now. At least he did for one game. He made one appearance for Matlock Town, couldn't score, and they got relegated. See, this is why he needs to listen to me, his agent, and not just do what he wants. I would never have advised him to move to Matlock Town. But he is now starting to look like a pretty okay player at 20 years old. We can give him plus 10 attributes for his 22 goals, which is a new milestone for a single season. But I also forgot about the attributes for career goals. We should have given him plus 10 last season for 25 career goals, so we'll do that now as well as plus 10 for 50 career goals. So there's a lot to improve here on Jordan, and I think we're going to go for some of the more striker-based things here. So dribbling is going to be a plus 5, so that's up to 12. We will also do his first touch up to 12 as well. Technique can go up to 11, and then we should probably do composure as well for scoring. That goes to 13. Concentration also pretty important for a striker. That's quite low right now, so let's make that 9. And in terms of physicals, agility is a little low, so let's put that up to 12 as well. So that takes him up to a 73 current ability, which is impressive. That makes him a very decent player for the level he's going to be playing at next season in the 7th division, I believe. It makes him a top 5 player in the Matlock Town squad, but 2 of those guys are on loan and they're going to be leaving, so he may actually end up being the best player in the club next season for Matlock Town. We'll leave him here because I think he is going to rip up the division next season and score plenty of goals. So with Matlock's relegation, he's now playing in the Northern Premier League Premier Division, the same league that Kidsgrove have just been promoted into, and Jordan actually scored the game's only goal as Matlock beat Kidsgrove. He scored 21 goals in all competitions for Matlock, before forgetting I was his agent again and moving to Morecambe at the end of March, scoring 1 goal for them, taking up his career total to 76. Morecambe also went on to win the National League North, so next season he'll be a Division 5 player. Good to see Morecambe winning something. Obviously in real life there's a horrible situation going on at Morecambe where there's a good chance they aren't going to exist as a club anymore, so I think we need to do a video on them soon. So Jordan is going to be a National League player next season. What we need to do is probably improve his physicals. He hit 22 goals this season across all competitions, so that is another milestone unlock for him. So let's focus on some of these important physicals. What we're going to do is give him a plus 3 to his pace up to 18. We'll do the same to acceleration to take that up to 15, and balance needs to go up too, so let's give him the rest of that up to 14 there. So that's upgraded his physicals nicely. He will be the fastest player in non-league football by far, and it also takes his current ability up to 84. So he might be good enough to play in the National League. That might be a little low, actually. If we look at Morecambe's squad, yeah, he's one of the better players there, but I suspect Morecambe are going to be one of the teams in the bottom half of the table next season, so he might struggle, actually, and that's a bit of a shame. And struggle in the National League he did. Across the season, he only scored 8 goals in total for Morecambe and Altrincham. He has decided to take another mid-season move. I mean, at this point, why am I his agent? He just does his own thing every single season. It was also a bad move because Morecambe have made it back-to-back promotions and Altrincham have finished down in 10th place. It's frustrating as well because he moved really early in the season. He started the first 10 games of the season for Morecambe before Altrincham came in, and obviously he's got a way higher goals to game ratio at Morecambe because they're a way better team. He should have just stayed there. But instead, because he only got 8 goals, that's no new milestone, and he hasn't got a milestone in career goals either, we can't touch his attributes this season. Like, this is it. We can't touch them. He's gone up to an 89 in current ability, and it's leading me to think we have to actually take a gamble here to get him to start scoring more goals and progress in his career. And also to have a proper contract so he can't just move clubs willy-nilly without talking to me. So we are going to take a big gamble here, because finishing 21st in League 2 is Fleetwood Town. Looking at their best players right now, they have a striker on loan who's got 97 current ability, but below that, they have no decent strikers, and they're playing a 2-striker system. Jordan would also be one of the best players in the team, so it's sensible to send him here, I think. I hope he appreciates what I'm doing for him. He better thank me with plenty of goals and clicking that subscribe button. That would be really appreciative. So in Season 7, Jordan is finally in the Football League and doing quite a good job. He scored 13 goals and collected 8 assists playing as the second striker. But that wasn't enough to help Fleetwood do much better. They still finished 20th in the table. And his 13 goals this season takes his career total to 97, meaning we can't upgrade him again this season. Which is okay, because I think he's still looking like a pretty decent striker, and I think he will score a lot of goals at this level if we move him to a better club in the division. Notts County finished in 11th place this past season, but they were predicted an automatic promotion spot. And if we look at their senior squad, looking down the current ability here, they just don't really have any decent attackers or strikers, so I think he'd fit in really well. Jordan had a better season at Notts County, as he scored 15 goals in all competitions, but that is still 10 shy of the 25 in a season that he needs for his next attribute boost. He has now cracked 100 career goals though, so we can give him plus 10 attributes for that, which will make him one of the best strikers in League 2 next season, because he's going to be in League 2 next season after Notts County lost in the playoff final to Stevenage. Although Jordan didn't really feature in the playoff final, he came off the bench, but that was because he had an injury, so couldn't really do much. If he'd started and was fit, maybe they would have won. As for the plus 10 attributes, I don't actually want to touch his technical, mentals, or physicals. Instead, I'm going to use these on his hidden attributes. You can only see these if you have the in-game editor, and these are things like adaptability, the ambition, how professional a player is, how good they are in important matches, how injury prone they are. And one of the reasons we picked Jordan was actually because his hidden attributes are pretty decent for such a rubbish player to start the game off with. What I want to do is use these plus 10 attributes to upgrade his consistency to 19, so he's not going to be streaky. If he's going to be in form, he's going to be in form for a long time. And I also want to upgrade his ambition as well, which I think kind of helps with a player wanting to reach the higher levels, wanting to play better to win trophies and awards, which is exactly what we're trying to do here with Jordan. So they've had no impact on his current ability. He's got up to 100 on his own, which is fantastic. We just need that to be, you know, maybe like 70 points higher for him to start winning a Ballon d'Or. And at 24 years old, he is not going to be improving much through training anymore. Maybe slowly a little bit his mentals, so we need him to start scoring plenty of goals. Which has got me thinking, do we drop him to the National League where he's got more of a chance to score those 25 goals? Or do we keep him at Notts County and keep him pushing forward in his career? And I'm leaning towards that. I don't want to drop him down for the sake of dropping him down. I want to keep him at a level where he should be playing, and that is League 2 right now. So let's keep him at Notts County and see what he does next season. I have no goal footage for Season 9. Not because he didn't score goals, Jordan actually scored 17 goals across the season, but he scored 16 of those goals for Notts County before moving to Swindon in League 1 in January, where he only scored once and the game won't let me show you his goal. It actually was a really good move for Jordan because Swindon finished 6th in League One, so he's playing for a very decent team. But luckily for me as a Lincoln City fan, they beat Swindon in the playoff final. So the Imps are going up to the Championship, which I am delighted about. So he scored 1 goal for Swindon Town in League One, got 10 in League Two for Notts County and 6 goals. So that's 17 in all competitions. That takes his career total up to 129, which is plus 10 attributes. So we're going to improve some of his mentals here, I think. We're going to do for concentration up 5 and decision making up 5 as well to 16. So that makes him a slightly better mental player. Hopefully he'll score more goals because of that. And it takes his current ability up to 105, which isn't really League One current ability, if I'm honest with you. I don't like this Swindon move for him. In terms of scoring goals, it's not going to help his career. I still think he's a League Two player. So controversially this summer, we're moving him back to League Two. Stockport County had the pre-season preview prediction of 6th place. In reality, they finished in 13th, so they need a goal scorer in the team. Back in League Two, Jordan has a really good season, collecting 15 goals and 15 assists for Stockport County in all competitions. They also finished 2nd in League Two and earned promotion. But is Jordan going to be ready for League One? He's not hit any goal scoring milestones this season, and at 26 years old now, he has kind of just stopped developing. His current ability is now 106, so it's gone up 1 in a single season. So unless we move him to the 14th division to score hat-tricks every single season, I don't think he's even going to hit the 20 goal a season milestone that he needs for a plus 10 upgrade, let alone 25 goals or 30 goals or 35 goals. So I am going to tweak the rules a little bit here. He got 15 assists this season, which I think should be rewarded. So we're going to award him attribute points for the assists in the same way we do goals. So the 15 he got this season means he hits 3 assist seasonal milestones, and with 54 assists in total, 2 career assist milestones for plus 50 attribute points. Yes, we are bending the rules a little bit, but this is my video and what I say goes. So with 50 attribute points to give out to Jordan here, there's quite a lot that I want to do. First of all, plus 10 to determination. Let's get that as almost as high as possible, up to 19. And we should probably improve his physicals a little bit as well. So plus 5 to the agility up to 17. Balance will do 5 up to 19. Jumping reach up to 19 as well. And we should probably do heading up to 17 to complement that as well. Vision is kind of important if we're doing assists now as well. So that can go up to 14. And then I think the work rate needs to be improved as well to 12. That's another 5 there. If we also do off the ball movement up to 17, that gives 5 left for... Do we do first touch up to 18? You know, get that quite nice and high. That feels quite good. He looks amazing now. Although that only takes his current ability up to 132, which is only really good enough to be a championship level striker. So there is a lot that we still need to do to get him up to that Premier. I mean, this just shows how difficult it is to get a player from one current ability up to Ballon d'Or levels. I think we leave him at Stockport for next season, let him play in League One and see what he does with his 132 current ability and his like insane physical attributes now. Next season has to be a huge season. He's got to hit some new milestones because we are running out of time before he can win a Ballon d'Or. Those attribute boosts worked out perfectly for Jordan because he dominated League One, scoring 33 goals in the league and a further 7 in the Cups. He also collected 12 assists for 52 goal contributions this season, smashing through a ton of milestones. Despite that, he was only 2nd in the league's top goal scorer award. Stockport County just missed out on an automatic promotion spot in 3rd place, and then they lost in the playoff final to Reading, who finally get back to the Championship. Which is where Jordan should have been playing this season, really. He smashed through 25, 30, 35 and 40 goals in a single season, giving him plus 40 attribute points, and then another plus 20 for getting past 150 and 175 career goals. So with 60 attribute points to give him, we can go to town on him this season. So let's work a little bit on his physicals, shall we? Let's get his strength up by 10 to 16 and his stamina up by 10 to 17. And we'll do a +5 on the natural fitness up to 15 as well. We should also improve his long shots because they're pretty low. Get him scoring from outside the area. Put that up to 14 by +10. And then if we look at his work rate, which is a bit low, up to 17. How about technique up to 17 as well? Maybe we should also do teamwork. Anticipation, also quite an important attribute for a striker here. As you can see, he's highlighted as a complete forward here. So let's get up to 15. And then also for the assists, maybe the passing up to 12. That should be all 60 points there in total. And that takes him up to 162 current ability. Now that is Premier League ready and a very decent Premier League player at that. So we could move him to a pretty big club now. He is also transfer listed for 13 million, and that technically was before the attribute boost upgrade. But now we're out there, we're talking Premier League now. And I think he's got to go to a top 4 club. So Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal and Newcastle are in the top 4 right now. Chelsea only play with one striker, and that one striker, David Oliver, has 175 current ability, so he's going to be starting. Newcastle play with 2 strikers, and only one of them is way better. So Newcastle's an option here. Arsenal play with 2 strikers, and they've got some good attacking players alongside them, so I'm sure they're going to score plenty of goals. But one of them is Endrick with 180 current ability, and the other's got 168. This Arsenal team is the strongest we've seen in terms of current ability. They have just won 3 Champions Leagues in the past 6 seasons, and include the last 7 seasons, they've also made another 2 finals as well. And now we can seriously start looking at the Ballon d'Or. Arsenal have had 2 winners in recent seasons in Saka and Martinelli. I think because of that, Arsenal has to be the move. They can win trophies, which is what we need. They have players who have won the Ballon d'Or before in recent it seems like the ideal move. It's got to be Arsenal. Jordan has had a very good season at Arsenal. He scored 22 goals and got 7 assists, which isn't Ballon d'Or worthy yet, but he is showing that he can play at the very top level now. Arsenal did drop to 5th in the table, but that should turn into a Champions League spot with all the coefficient scores. So I am very happy to keep him at Arsenal for the next season because I think he can actually build some momentum here. Luckily, thanks to the goals he scored this season, he has now surpassed 200 career goals, so we can give him +10 attributes this season. So to help him score, what I want to do is max out his pace, that's a +3, max out his acceleration, which is a +5, that gives me 2 left over, which we'll just put into finishing here to make that 17, I reckon. And now he's an even more lethal goal scorer. That improves his current ability massively, actually, to 179. So he's basically on par with Endrick now. So, you know, if they want to get rid of Endrick, that'll be good for us. Those upgrades have seriously helped Jordan. He only scored 20 goals in the Premier League, but he scored 14 goals in the Champions League and 3 in the Cup for 37 total, as well as 16 assists. Arsenal also won the Premier League title, which incredibly is only Jordan's 2nd trophy after the National League North title he won with Morecambe. So with the numbers that he got this season, playing for an Arsenal side that won the Premier League, he might actually be in with a shout of winning the Ballon d'Or. So we can see here the award period is from July 2035 to October 2036. So essentially all of this season and a little bit of next season as well. And he's already got more goals than Lamine Yamal got in that award period from the previous season, and he's down 2 assists. Unless someone's had like an insane career, I think this is it. I think this is genuinely it. He's also going to get a lot better because this past season he got 225 career goals and 75 career assists. So we've got 20 attribute points to give him here, and what we need to do is improve one area of goal scoring that is basically 3 goals. Let's upgrade his penalties by 15 attribute points here, so that goes up to 18, and we'll put another 5 into dribbling so he can actually use that pace quite nicely with the ball at his feet too. So if we now go to edit his play, wow, 184 current ability now, this man. Based on current ability alone, that makes him the 6th best player in the database, the best striker in the database as well. Ballon d'Or has got to be around the corner. So I'm now halfway through season 14, and We're about to find out if he's won the Ballon d'Or. Jordan so far has got 19 goals in 23 games and 8 assists. So he's had an amazing start to the new season. This is a Ballon d'Or season, surely. Excuse me? Why is he not... Why is he not in the top... Why has he not won it or even the top 3? Are you having me on here? No one has scored more than 27 goals. Bergen has got way more. No one's got more than 17 assists. Bergen's got more... Excuse me? Right, this is rigged. He's not even in Team of the Year. Not even on the bench in Team of the Year. My man has been robbed here. How has he not won any awards? By the end of season 14, Jordan amassed 40 goals and 12 assists. 52 goal contributions. He's also helped Arsenal win back-to-back Premier League titles, whilst being the Premier League's top goal scorer in the process. And he was also the second top goal scorer in the Champions League this past season, as he helped Arsenal win their 4th Champions League trophy by beating Atletico Madrid in the final. Although he didn't actually play in the final. Of all the times to get injured, right, he's injured for the Champions League final. That is actually really quite sad. So he's now got 283 career goals and 101 assists, which are new milestones for him. So we can give him a plus 20 attributes, which is quite nice. We're going to make this guy even better. If he doesn't win a Ballon d'Or by the end of this video, I don't know what else we could do. So let's get this passing up to 20, just to maximize the number of assists he can get. We may as well max out finishing as well, actually. So that's the 10 overall there. So actually, we'll just leave it there in terms of his technicals and things like that. If we go to his attribute details, that takes him up to 192. But I also now want to go and improve his important matches. Let's max that out to 20 out of 20. So if he plays in the Champions League final, he'll just score goals for fun there. That'd be fun. And then let's also do professionalism by 19. Just like hyper optimize everything. If he does not win a Ballon d'Or next season, I am going to flip out. So we're now in the January of season 15. This is when the Ballon d'Or has been awarded. Jordan's now scored 23 goals in 21 games for the start of this new season. So did we say the award period goes from July to October? So let's just say, for argument's sake, he only got 10 goals before October and the cut-off point. He won the Champions League. He won the Premier League. As much as I hate it, I don't like the fact that winning trophies seems to be quite a big part in the Ballon d'Or. I don't like that. It should just be based on how the player has performed individually as opposed to what the team have done. But it does play a factor. So, winning those two, if he hasn't won it this season, I don't know what we've done. What do we need to do? What do we need to... He's not even in the top 3. And how is Endrick 3rd place? This is genuinely insane. I don't understand. What do we have to do to get this man his Ballon d'Or? And interestingly, he's in Team of the Year, but the 3 people who came top 3 in the Ballon d'Or are not in the starting 11 of the FIFA Team of the Year. Let's see how he does for the rest of the season, shall we? This is mental. So Jordan ends the season with 40 goals in 40 matches and gets 8 assists along the way. 30 of those goals were scored in the Premier League, which makes him the league's top scorer once again, and he also helped Arsenal to a 3rd Premier League title in a row. He has now actually surpassed 300 career goals, so we can give him plus 10 attributes here, which we're going to use to just try and max out a few other things. So like agility, plus 2 there. Balance plus 1 there, so that's going to be 20 as well. That's 3 in total. Jumping reach may as well go up as well to 20, so that's 4 total. Let's also do natural fitness as well. Let's get that up to 20, so that's another 4. We've got 2 left over. Let's put it into strength, shall we? So that goes up to 18. Physical machine right now, which is exactly what we need him to be, because at 31 years old, he is going to start to decline, and then it's going to be a losing battle where we have to try keep his physicals as high as possible, but every season they are going to start dropping down as he gets older. In the meantime, though, that does take him up to 200 out of 200 current ability. We can still keep increasing his attributes if we need to, but his current ability is not going to improve anymore. I'm starting to think we need to move him away from Arsenal, because Lamine Yamal keeps winning it at Barcelona. Real Madrid, I think, have just won the Champions League in this as well, so maybe has to go to Real. But then saying that, Endrick did come 2nd or 3rd this past season, so maybe it's... I'm going to give him one more season at Arsenal. So we are at the January point in season 16. 23 goals and 23 games for Jordan right now. If this man does not win the Ballon d'Or this season, in fact now, We're moving him in January mid-season to Barcelona, I think. I think that's the only way to do it. So this is now or never. At 32 years old, this is now or never. Jordan, have you won the Ballon d'Or? The FIFA Ballon d'Or. Your winner this season, Jordan Bergen. You love to see, we've done it. We've actually got him there. In the end, we have finally got our Sunday League player to win the Ballon d'Or. We've completed the challenge. And what a career it's been, by the way, starting at Fitton Hill All-Stars in the 20th tier, Lancashire and Cheshire Amateur League Division C. Played at every single club in the Northwest, it seemed, pretty much, until moving to Notts County and then expanding his career down to Swindon. Didn't really like it, went back up north to Stockport County, before moving to the capital, to Arsenal, to finally fulfill his potential. So after successfully getting a Sunday League footballer to win the Ballon d'Or, winning the Premier League in Football Manager seems like a pretty easy challenge. But this is Luton Town we're talking about, who have just suffered back-to-back relegations. Click the video on screen to watch me take over the Hatters and attempt to lead them to Premier League glory.